Welcome everyone, Joe with ECRM, and I have with me Monica Burton from NielsenIQ, who just gave a great presentation on trends across deli, dairy, bakery, and frozen. And for this video, we're going to focus on the frozen section, particularly one part that I found very interesting, and that was what you talked about as far as reducing SKUs, but still making more money. And the reason is that's important is because the frozen category is so crowded and there's so much competition and you're limited on space. So thanks again for the presentation. And to start off, can you give an overview about that? How can you do that reduction but still make more money?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Joe. In the presentation, we discussed how there's over 55,000 SKUs across the frozen department, and we've seen a decline in the number of SKUs being carried in frozen, mostly seen from seafood, vegetables, as well as desserts. Really some declines there in terms of item count. But overall, we propose that the frozen department could still reduce SKUs by 1,700 across the total U.S. food channel, and then see $1 billion gain from that reduction, which does sound counterintuitive, but when you come in with strategies that make sense at retail, where you're bringing in items that are innovative, they have uniqueness, they're bringing in that incrementality to the category and the shoppers to your store, it really does help to lift the store and again grow the frozen category by $1 billion.
Awesome. Can you give us an example, like a nuts and bolts example of how that can happen? You mentioned pizza during your presentation.
In our discussion, we did focus on pizza as our case study. We proposed reducing a lot of the segments that were driven with meat toppings, like a multi-meat, pepperoni, or sausage supreme type flavor, for reducing those a little bit and focusing more on a white pizza, a vegetable pizza. And by doing that remix of that category segment, we saw that the pizza category could grow by over $180 million just with those simple reductions. And of course, everyone has their favorite pepperoni brand, right? Like you don't want to get rid of the cornerstone of the pizza department there, but we want to be thoughtful about the recommendations we're making, and we can do that at NielsenIQ with our assortment studies.
Now, this is something that, let's say, a frozen category manager should be reviewing on a regular basis to determine which ones to swap, right?
Correct. I would think, though, if I'm in the retailer's shoes, they likely don't have time to go category by category, reviewing what SKUs should be delisted and really putting a lot of thought and effort into it. I think that's where the brands come in, and they bring these insights to the retailer to help educate them and really grow the trust there between and grow that partnership, right? They're looking at you to be the category management arm of their retail division, and you can do that with these insights and really grow the whole category at the same time.
Cool. So you also mentioned that you are doing a focus on better for you items. So how does that play into, explain a little bit what that is, because it's a relatively new area of focus, and then how does that play into all this?
Sure. So we launched our Better For You segment, I think, approximately a year ago, and it focuses on brands that are really trying to make an effort in terms of ingredients, sustainability, social consciousness, really lifting up society as a whole. We are creating a segment of those brands and benchmarking them against conventional to see their growth across the store. And we are seeing some really great results from the brands that we're tracking. And obviously the last year or so with inflation, we did see somewhat of a switch back to those conventional brands. However, now with the inflation lightening a little, we are seeing more of a resurgence of the Better For You.
I know it's definitely had an impact on me, just personally shopping. A few years ago, I was getting almost everything that was certified organic. Now there are certain items, there's some that I still will get, but then there are other ones that it's like, you know what, my blueberries, I don't need organic. I could get it from the dude on the corner, and it's a third of the price. Or, some cottage cheese. Organic is, by me anyway, I'm in New York, by me, it's almost $7 for a small organic one versus $3. Wow. conventional. So I'll make trade-offs like that. And that's been over the past year or so. So it's definitely impacting me on that end, I'm sure. And I know other people that in my neighborhood, same thing. So awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for the great presentation. And those of you, if you register for an ECRM session, you get access to NIQ's Bizer data. And then if you're on RangeMe, you also, if you're a premium or a pro subscriber, you have access to category level Nielsen data and some competitive insights as well.
Amazing.
So thanks again.
Thank you.